Welcome back. I'm Leon Todd for G66, and today we're doing something I like to call 7 levels of delay, where we are going to explore all the different blocks that pertain to delay or echo style effects in the Fractal FM3. Now, in my opinion, if all the FM3 did was delay and echo effects, it would still be an amazing processor. We have so many options in here, from very straightforward digital style delays through to old emulations of old vintage analog echo and delay effects, right up to things that don't exist anywhere else, like the plex delay and the megatap delay block. There is a whole lot of fun to be had here. Before we talk about delay though, I'm using the Atomica High model together with a stock factory cab of a Mesa cabinet with a V30. The Atomica is at stock settings except for the depth control, which I have turned down all the way to 0. I'm playing my PRS in drop C. It sounds like this. So that's the dry sound. We can move straight over to scene 2, which I've just labeled vanilla because this is just a straight up digital mono delay at the stock settings. This is what we get. So it's giving us a really lovely pristine copy of what we're putting into it. Now, if you're not a tweaker and you just want to dial up some delay sounds, I would recommend just firing up a delay block and going to the type. And we have a whole bunch of different types. Some of my favorites include the stereo BBD type. Let's have a listen to that one. So that's a lovely warm sounding analog style delay with some modulation happening on there. Another thing that you can do if you want to dive slightly deeper is tempo sync your delays. For example, I'm going to set the main delay here to be a quarter note. Then if I tap in the tempo on my FM3, it's going to adjust the delay time so that it's tempo synced to whatever I'm playing. Furthermore, and this is going to, I guess, complete the first level of delay, I've only tried 1 or 2 delay types here, but by all means, dive in, try out all the different delays and find your favorite one. I'm going to set this left-right time ratio to 75%, so now I'll have a 2-tap delay, one of which is a quarter note, one of which is a dotted eighth. I'm going to bring the mix control up a little bit, and this is going to sound like so. It's beautiful and wide. It kind of just puts this halo around your notes. That completes level number 1 with our delays. Something else that you can do still in the delay block is you can dive a tiny little bit deeper in there and you can play around with the delay EQ, the modulation, and things like the ducker style effects. So this stereo BBD type pretty much has the delay set where I like it, and it's got a little bit of modulation. We can turn that up just a little bit, and we can bring the mix up as well, so we're going to get more of like a rhythmic style delay effect. So that's really lovely if I'm playing kind of stabby chords like that. The delays are really nice and full and present. You know what, let's go ahead and set that mix to 50%. But let's say while I play, I want the delays to maybe not interfere with my playing as much. We can go to the ducking section and basically turn the delays down when this ducker section detects an input. So these are normally my go-to settings. I would recommend people start with about 9 dB of attenuation and the release time at about 100 milliseconds. So when I play, what is going to happen is the delay is kind of going to duck under my playing. When I don't play, it is going to bloom back out. Check it out. Now, if we really go hard with the attenuation, let's try like 18 dB, you'll notice it even more. Wonderful stuff. And this is great if you just want to set up one delay for your kind of rhythmic style delay. and your lead delay. Bringing the attenuation up about 15, 18 dB is normally enough. So it's really wet and saturated when I'm not playing, and it's not getting in the way when I am playing. That completes level number 2. Let's go over, in this case, to scene number 4. We're going to use the multi-tap delay. So let's take a look at what we've got in the multi-tap delay. Here we have 4 delay taps. I've got the quad tap delay. We can have a band delay. We can have a quad tape delay for the kind of multi-head echo thing, a quad series or parallel delay, and a diffuser. I'm just going to stick with this quad tap delay, but we're going to do a very, very cool thing with these delays. Rather than have 4 delays going, we're going to dedicate 2 of those delay taps to a chorus effect. So we're going to have like a chorus and a delay coming from this multi-tap delay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these first 2 delays more or less as they are. Let's go for that quarter note and a dotted 8th note style delay. We'll pan them out hard left and hard right. But delay 3 and 4, this is a trick I'm very fond of. We'll turn the tempo sync off and we'll go for quite short delay times. Let's go for like 5 and 7 milliseconds. We'll turn the feedback on these off because after all, a chorus is just a very short delay that's being modulated. So we've got short delay times and we can come to this chorus section here. I'm going to turn the depth up on these lines right here. Check this out. This is a wonderful wide delay with all the things we like about chorus and all the things we like about delay and echo. That's a really nice alternative to the delay that we kind of set up in level number 2, where we had like a ducking delay and the quarter note dotted 8th note thing. Now we have chorus on there, and of course there is a ducker section here in the multi-tap delay, as well as something called a diffuser, which is just kind of going to smear out the repeat. So if I bring the diffuser up, have a listen to what happens to the delays. We get like a chorus and a delay and a reverb. I absolutely adore the multi-tap delay block in the Fractal products. I could talk about it all day, but we're going to move on to the next level, which is the TenTap delay. This is a really interesting algorithm in here. What it lets us do is set the number of delay taps. So naturally, let's set that to 10. We can set a base delay time, and then essentially we can adjust what I like to think about as like the time between delay repeats. A classic delay gives you the same amount of time between every delay repeat. Here with the TenTap delay, we can mess with that. We can pan each repeat wherever we like in the spectrum. We can actually adjust the individual level of repeats, which is really cool. And we can do things like adjust the spread and the shuffle. Let's just hear what 10 delay sounds like. So you get a really standard, just 10 delay repeats doing what they do. Let's go for something interesting though. Let's set the pan shape to say be a sine shape. And what this is going to do is smoothly pan our delays like a really long ping pong. Really, really fun. Another thing that we can do in there is we've got this decay control. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm actually going to leave that at 50%, but we can set that to any value we like to basically control the slope of how the delays decrease. Or we can do this. We can say set a delay volume for each tap, which you can't do with a normal delay. So let's do this. Let's make like our first delay is really quiet, and each delay is going to increase basically by like 2 to 3 dB. So I'm going to go in and program that really quickly. And what this is going to do is swell the delays up, which is kind of a counterintuitive effect, but it is really cool and really, really fun. We can even make the delays louder than our main signal. Do I want to do that? Let's do it on the last 2. We'll make those 3 dB louder and maybe 6 dB louder. Now check this out. Of course, what I have to do there is go in and adjust the decay parameter. Let's set the decay to 0. So now my delay is kind of panning around smoothly, and it's actually swelling up and getting louder, the opposite of a normal delay effect. This is really fun if you like sound on sound stuff. And then if I use something like the shuffle parameter, now the delays aren't going to all be equally spaced. This is even more fun. So they all kind of start to smear together, which is really, really fun. All right, that's the TenTap delay. There's also a rhythm tap delay where basically you can tap in any particular rhythm you like and the delays will come back like that. Pretty crazy stuff, but we're gonna move on to the pitch block, which is kind of a weird one because this one doesn't say delay, but it's got delays in it. What I've got here is the dual harmony delay mode. And I've set up the delays again to be a quarter note and a dotted eighth note, mixes at 50%. I'm gonna bring the high cut down a little bit on this and the low cut up a little bit, again, just so it kind of sits around what we're doing. I have harmony 1 and 2 set to unison, so we're just gonna get back what we put in. All right, nothing too special there. Let's begin by adding a little bit of pitch detune. Let's say 11 cents either side. This is kind of going to thicken up and widen our delays. So that's pretty subtle right there, but let's do this. Let's set this to be a harmony. I'm in drop C, so I'm going to set this to be in C minor. We'll go C Aeolian minor, and let's just do this. Let's just use the 3rd and the 5th degree from the minor scale as our harmony notes. Now we're having some fun. Kind of giving you those Passion and Warfare H3000 vibes right there. So that one's really, really fun. If you want the harmonies to be a little bit more precise sounding, turn the detune off. But that's how we can kind of use the pitch block as an alternative delay. Really, really fun there. We're almost at the end here. We're moving on to the mighty plex delay block now. Think of this as like a cross between a delay and a reverb. We have a lot of controls going on here. So I'm going to turn the mix up to about 25%. So that we can hear this. And kind of like the MultiTap delay, we have this diffusion control in there, but now we've got a decay time and we can set the number of delays from 4, 6, or 8. Let's just stick with 4. I'm going to apply some high cut in here. I'll leave the low cut as it is. We've not only got an overall diffusion and a decay time, we've also got input diffusion, which is going to smear out the delay repeats. Then we can adjust the individual times, the level and the panning, the amount of modulation, and we can even add a filter in there. This is a super powerful block, but this is the overall tonality of the plex delay. So if you like ambient tones and you don't want to play around with chaining a reverb and a delay together, just fire up the plex delay block. In fact, possibly my favorite ambient reverb ever is the standalone plex reverb in here. If you do some volume swells, this is just so satisfying on a lot of levels. And obviously this is also going to be amazing with clean tones. I have plenty of videos on my channel where I'm playing clean tones with this plex reverb. All right, the final level, the 7th level of delay, and this is easily the weirdest one here, the megatap delay block. So we have the TenTap delay block where we could do 10 delay taps and basically design the way we want them to kind of repeat. In this case, I think of this as kind of like a gated reverb style or a real kind of like smear block. With 64 delay taps, we've got a base time of over a second. We have a whole bunch of factors in here like the time alpha, the time randomize, the pan shape, whether we want this to increase or decrease in amplitude as we play, and of course the mighty diffusion in there, as well as an envelope section which lets us do auto swells with this. These are just the settings that I dialed in a long time ago, actually on the FX3, and I've really come to love them. So this is going to give you this wild, smeared out, gated reverb kind of thing. It's So that one's kind of like post-rock in a box, and together with the plex delay or with something like the multi-delay, you can really take this next level. So I really hope you enjoyed this kind of journey through delay. There are still so many more options to explore. If you have any particular questions or comments, feel free to reach out in the comments section. I'm going to just kind of play you out. I'm going to turn on this multi-tap delay and the plex delay with the megatap delay, and I'm just going to see what comes out. Thank you so much for watching the video. I will see you next time.